Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Pretty Ninja Racing here on YouTube. My name is Anders, and I'll be your host for tonight's race. And tonight's race is the GT2 World Championship. The Pretty Ninja, rather. GT2 World Championship, not the actual World Championship. And today we're at the Lauertschen Ring, and we are doing the DTM layout. We have a couple of Porsches tonight, so if you were here last week, you can probably remember me saying disappointed that there's no Porsches because they are rapidly quick but very difficult to tame. Well, we've got two drivers tonight. Lloyd has shifted over to Porsche just for a bit of fun after a pretty dreadful round one, as well as Butler, who is a new contender here in the GT2 series and currently on board with last week's winner, or watching last week's winner 66, trying to keep up with Skyring and get that next victory to help towards his championship standings. So let's head straight over to trackside just whilst we're in practice. So if you're brand new here to Pretty Ninja Racing, welcome. We host events on a Sunday, Monday and a Wednesday evening. We're usually based in the UK. It starts around about 8:30 GMT. And we usually let the community decide what we do. But the PNTCC, which is on a Monday night, is in its 4th season now. And that's something that we will just not get rid of because it's just a community favourite. But with that being said, let's talk about tonight's race. So, like I said, we're at the Lauertschen Ring, which is the DTM layout tonight. Slight error on my part. It's meant to be the DTM 2021 layout, which utilises the actual oval ring on T1, but I screwed up. And I picked the wrong one, and I get rid of the tyres just up here. There we go. And we're about to see 66 come across the line to effectively sorry, one sec. There we go. Oh, I don't want that bar. There it is. Bar's gone. Okay, cool. There we go. Lovely stuff. And I have... what was I talking about? Sorry, before I accidentally started messing about. I've completely forgotten. Oh yeah, I messed up. It's not technically the right circuit, but it will do. Because Lauertschen Ring DTM pre-2021 layout is just as good. It's just not quite as fun for these sort of cars here. The 1998 Porsche, which is an absolute death trap according to Jamski, Lloyd, who we're watching right now, in the PlayStation livery. Looks rather nice actually. But it's absolutely rapid in a straight line. So he just needs to kind of get it nailed down a little bit more. And hopefully he'll be able to make something off of it. There is Letterme in the pink and purple P&R Ferrari, enjoying himself in with his P&R skin. Who else have we got tonight? We've got Skyring currently sitting in P2 in the BMW after a good recovery drive last week in round 1. Hopefully we'll be able to challenge 66 this week around. Sobek is back this week and has been working on their technique apparently. So hopefully they will get a little bit more of an adventurous race today. Korsk, if I'm pronounced that right. Hopefully I'm pronouncing that right. Korsk. Is also back this week and hopefully we'll get another really good result and help towards the championship standings. After getting a very good 3rd place last week. And new for tonight is Butler, who just goes top with a 24/7 in the Porsche. Oh my days. So Butler's clearly got the Porsche nice and tamed, but whoa, there it goes. That's what you got to watch out for. Is not the best at cornering. So this is a 45-minute race with 200% tyre wear. And the Porsche is not the best at cornering. If you touch a curb, the Porsche just goes. It just floats off. So I'm not expecting the Porsche to do particularly well throughout the 45-minute race, as we're coming towards the end of free practice here. So as I was saying, it's a 45-minute race with 200% tyre wear. So technically, tyre wear of over, well, of 1.5 hours basically. Now these cars can easily do that. Ironically, with these sort of tyres, it does get a little bit sketchy towards the end, as they all go into the pits for free practice. As we take a look at all of the drivers that we have currently going on. So Butler was our P1. Now it does say GT3 and GTE and FIA GT, which is a bit silly because these are all GT2 cars apparently. So we'll have to just wait and see. All of the cars are flashy lights. The BMW looks rather nice, to be fair, I must say. Scarring. My favourite skin so far though has definitely got to be Lloyd with the PlayStation Porsche. It should be the PNR Ferrari really, shouldn't it? But that just looks rather nice. I think that's a rather nice skin. Korsch in P6, just in the red Ferrari, who is getting straight out on track. And that the race tower bit should disappear in a minute. If it doesn't, there we go. Korsch, I believe I'm told to pronounce. Hopefully I'm pronouncing that right. Just let me know after the race. Korsch. But either way, hopefully they will have a good qualifying session. But by the looks of it, from free practice, it's Butler that we need to keep an eye on. And is it just me or is the audio a little bit low? See if we can fix that in a minute, because the audio does sound... Silly fool. There we go. It is very low, look at that. Very nice. Right, let's get rid of a few of these, shall we? So get rid of oil. That one. There we go. Sorry about that. Lloyd is currently now coming out out on the track now, and we'll see how he's able to get on with the Porsche. It's going to be a good little bit of learning here for Lloyd. There you go, it just lights up the rear tyres. Needs to have it in a higher gear really, by the looks of it. As we go on board for Skyring for the first flying lap of today's session. BMW is definitely the easiest one to drive out of the three cars we have here today. Butler goes top with a 24.933. Lemmy goes in second with a 25.4. Oh, the wheel spin coming out into the final back straight here for Skyring. Butler's off track and Skyring can only get to fourth. 66 is in second with a 25.3. Lemmy's only a tenth behind, and to be fair, so is Skyring. Skyring's only a tenth behind as well. Only a tenth between Korsch and Sebek. So the reality is, there is a rather close field throughout. Lloyd is the only one not doing a time by looks of it. He's going to start at the back and try not to get in anyone's way. I'm going to guess that's what he's doing, just because the Porsche is a bit of a thanimal. And here is Porsche. Timing line, no improvement. What about Sobek? Sobek is coming over timing line. I'm just keeping an eye out, and 66 goes into first over 24.8. Any improvement for Sobek? Sobek does improve to a 26.7. So Caution's got some time to find. Oh, and a lock up there by Sobek. Lemmy's now going back onto a flyer. We've got 5 minutes left here of quali. And Lemmy's really been enjoying this Ferrari of late. He's been saying he's putting a lot of practice for today's race as well. So it's the only P&R event that Lemmy can sadly attend because he works nights through the weekdays. So hopefully Lemmy will be able to get a good result. He was on for a good result at Spa until the rear end of the Porsche, not the Porsche, the rear end of the Ferrari just went away from them. Now the question is, can Butler keep this up for 45 minutes? And Skyring goes up into first, sorry, with a 24.7. So the top three split between two temps right now. Butler's gone over the timing line, but no improvements. Lloyd is out on circuit now with a pair of soft tyres on. There he is coming out of the pits now. Can Butler bring anything to the table? That is a bouncy Porsche. Skyring currently off circuit. Just trying to see if there's anyone. Butler's there. Where's 66? 66 is in the infield. Cautious in the pits. Sobek is still on circuit. Ignore the timeline at the bottom there. It's not working properly. It hasn't for the past few streams, sadly. But I wouldn't be surprised if Team BMW walk away with it today. Lemmy's come back out in a pair of mediums. So it's going to be no real improvement for Lemmy there. Sobek doesn't improve. Now where is Butler? Butler's coming around the final corner. Look how wide, how much speed he's trying to carry through. And over the timing line, nope, nothing for Butler again. It's on the infield where the Porsche struggles, that is for sure. I mean, look at how squirrely that thing is. And it's gone. There it is. Butler is off. Can Lloyd get a time on the board for PlayStation Racing? Looks like you've got to take the Porsche nice and smooth. It's a proper vintage, well, it's not quite 30 years old like me, but won't be far off it fairly soon. Oh, he gets a bit of a drift on. But keeps hold of it. But we have asked WSS to add a couple more GT2s to replace this Porsche. But it looks like Lloyd is going to get a complete lap in. And one more if he really wants to go for it. So we'll see where this puts Lloyd. 26.8. There was that little bit of issue in the infield, but that's promising. Oh, it's just under the braking. It's not that great. And that's the lap time ruined straight on lap 1. Where is Skyring? Skyring's in the pits. 66 has got time for one more lap. And this is where the modern day aerodynamics kick in. Oh, I say modern day, I believe this car's from 2009. I think the most modern car is the Ferrari, but the BMW's aero package is far superior compared to the Ferrari. But then you just can't count out the Ferrari, can you? Really? I mean, Lemmy is carrying it through into 4th place. Porsche is currently P7. Only 7 drivers this week. Where is Butler? Butler behind? Butler is behind 66. So we'll see what 66 does, and then we'll move over to Butler. And 66 comes over the timeline, trying to make the shortest route possible. And there is an improvement to a 24.678. Takes pole away from Skyring at the very last minute. But what can Butler bring to the table? And Butler nicks it right at the end with a 24.305. Oh my days. So Butler is... is there a way that I can change the camera? Yeah, here we go. So Butler is our pole sitter for today's race with a 24.05 right at the very last minute. 66 pips it away from J Sky with a 24.6. Skyring in P3, looking to get a good result today. Lemmy cruising into P4 with no real challenges. Sobek took P5 quite early on. Lloyd only got one timed lap in to take P6, but I believe over 45 minutes he's going to really struggle with that Porsche. And Porsche rounds us off in P7, but by no means a shoddy lap. A 27.531 is not a bad lap around here at the Lowitsham Ring. So whilst we're waiting for the green lights, let me talk you through our events coming up this week. The Porsche Multiclass is back on Wednesday nights at 8:30 GMT. We are at the Andromeda Circuit. GT2 World Championship tonight. So you are currently watching that live here on YouTube at Pretty Ninja Racing. And my mouse has decided to stop working. Interesting. Ooh. This is fun. My mouse has stopped working. So I'm going to take you over to the broadcast. And I can't move. Oh yeah, I can. There we go. Butler's got a jump drive through for a jump start. So Butler, even though he's a pole sitter, left way too early. For some reason, my mouse has just completely stopped working. And I don't know why. So none of these. It's literally like stuck. nothing's happening. So we're currently watching Butler. We can see in the background Lloyd's made it all the way up to P3, 66 in second. Skyring's fallen down, or moved back into P3 rather. Lloyd's in 4th, Lemmy's in 5th, Zobek in 6th, and Course in 7th. But Butler does have a drive-through. We will move cars when my mouse decides to start working again. There we go. It's now working. Okay, so let's take a look at Lloyd, who's currently holding up the rear 4 of the pack. But he won't mind that. He'll just be trying to keep it on the road. And as long as he can keep him behind in the infield, you'll probably watch where the Porsche... Oh, and Lemmy just tags him in the back. Lloyd gets away unscathed. Lemmy falls down to the back of the pack. And you can just see that Porsche gaining on the car in front of Skyring. Lloyd just needs to keep it nice and smooth. Just get some good points, get some time under their belt. Butler still has to drive through to take. He has 3 laps to do it in. But does have a little bit of time before he can take it. 66, our current championship leader, is in P2 in the BMW. And we can see Butler just ahead, but Skyring doesn't really... 66 doesn't really need to chase him down, as they've got a drive-through. 2 laps in and 2.5 seconds ahead already for Butler, but that's going to not really mean anything. And there's a bit of a battle between Course and 66. Not 66, sorry, and Lettermy. Well, there was, but I think Lettermy may have had a bit of an off. What tyres is Course using? SM. Semi-hards? Soft hards? Semi-hards? Not sure, but Butler needs to come in and do the drive-through at some point soon. It should be on his screen. Just grab that over a minute. Results. Make sure you take your drive through. Just sending that warning to Butler now to make sure he takes his drive through. He's only got 1 lap to do it in, really, so he needs to do it. And he's in the pit lane, so well done. And he's got it stopped just in time. And here comes 66 to take the race lead. Butler falls down. Skyring is just there. Lloyd is saying a pretty good lap time as well, 26.6. He'd be pretty happy with that. And Butler's drive-through has been taken. Butler comes out in P3. Let's take a look at the cars behind Lettermy, who's chased down Porsche. The purple Nurple P&R Ferrari. Is on the move, probably going to be making an attempt fairly soon. So we go on board with the Belgian. Oh, of course, Ferrari's just a little bit wobbly on the power. See the understeer that happening just there for Lettermy. Having a little look. And Butler's already got ahead of Skyring. Now watch that Porsche just drive away in a straight line. Absolutely gone. So that's Butler into P2. And at the end of the day, if you can master the Porsche for 45 minutes, you deserve to have that extra speed. But it's in the infield section that the BMW comes into its own. You can see it here. You see the gap just extend a little bit. But going into corners like these is where the BMW is really gonna make gains. And Jace guy's got to be a bit ruthless with this Porsche. If he wants to get by, he's gonna have to do it. Because on the straights, you can see the Porsche is just gonna have that extra bit of advantage. And Lettermy is getting very close to getting past Kors. In fact, he's getting by Kors now. Can he get the car stopped? He can indeed. Kors was going to try and get down the inside, but the gap was never there. And Lettermy makes his way up to P6. I think Kors has gone for the hard tyre, which means towards the end of the race, he might have a bit of better tyre life, but this battle's not over. Kors is looking very racy this evening. Just not quite able to get on the power smooth enough to get past Lettermy. Skyring has lost a second, and that's got to be in the straight. We can see Butler, after getting a drive-through, doing very well to master that Porsche, and another person who's also mastering the Porsche rather well is Lloyd. Doing a great job. I'm not sure why we can't see the tyre choice. But it's whether that Porsche's tyres can last until the end of the race as well, because the tyre life for these cars are not particularly wonderful. The driver we haven't really mentioned so far yet is Sobek, having their own little jolly there in P5. Good smooth drive. A lot of people will ask why we choose such weird combinations when it comes to like what car choices we do and what track choices we do. One, we don't like doing the same thing over and over and over again. It gets very boring very quickly. And two, your skills aren't going to get better driving the same cars over and over again. Hence why we don't have a GT3 league. Because there are going to be skills that people will learn in these GT2s, especially the likes of Lloyd, in these Porsches, 1998 Porsches, and it's just gonna help them in other series. Like there's gonna, it's the controllability, smoothability of acceleration, braking, just all these new skills that he's learning every single lap on how to manage and how to control. You wouldn't get that if you did the same series over and over and over again. Yes, you'll get very good at that one car, but you won't develop as a sim racer. Mike V, your commentary is fantastic. Thank you very much. That's very kind of you. I'm an absolute rookie at this, so I just try and think of whatever I can and waffle I'm at as Lloyd goes off the circuit, and hopefully that won't count as a cut. There's only two. But the rest of the field is looking rather spread out. So I think for the next 20 minutes or so, this is not going to be too dissimilar, although Lettermy is closing down on Sobek. About 2 to 3 tenths a lap, so a few laps and Lettermy might be on the rear end of Sobek. But it looks like Team Germany, BMW and Porsches, are leading the way as Butler sets the fastest lap, or his personal fastest lap of the race. Oh no, it's the fastest lap of the race, sorry, of a 1:25.230. And to be fair, the rest of the field are not doing shoddy laps. Even Porsche here and the Ferrari doing a 1:29 the last lap, so probably had a little bit of an off, but still not a bad lap. I mean, that's only 3 seconds off the likes of 66, who is literally an AI in human form. If you want to know what an AI sim racer would look like, here you are. The dude just doesn't make mistakes, but that Porsche, oh my lord. I feel, let's go on board for this next bit, because we'll see the cornering issues that they have. Let's choose a better car camera. Oh, look at that. That's a funky camera, isn't it? Look at the classic dials. I miss cars like this. I really do. But you can just see that BMW is able to take more curb, lean on the aero a little bit more. Rear end steps out here for the Porsche, but watch the gains. Nine tenths, 8 tenths, 7 tenths. 4 tenths faster that lap, and there we go. We're already on the rear end, but here you'll see the BMW come to its own again in early stage sector 1 of the modern day, well I say again modern day, 2009 aero of the BMW. But Butler is doing a fantastic job here of keeping this Porsche under wraps, but you can just see the straight line acceleration is just unreal. I've even put, rear end's gone a bit, but I even put 5% ballast on this car, so it's 5% weaker. And let me move into P5 past Porsche. Oh, not Porsche, sorry. Yeah, past Porsche. So Sobek has had an off because Sobek was in P5. And Sobek is having a go on Porsche now. Nicely done. Very nicely done. Nice little move on the inside there. But again, as I said, the tyres are going to be screaming by the end of this lap, especially because of the infield section. Very fast, long right-hander. Bit shallow there by Sobek, not using the whole circuit. And Butler keeps on getting the timing down to half a second. Lloyd is still in P4. Great drive so far, handling the Porsche beast. And Lloyd can relax, to be fair. He's got 18 seconds behind him. Can easily relax. And you can see, it almost looks like Skyring has given up. Which I know he hasn't, but it just it just looks like that. It's just that BMW, she's like, oh well. Not going to get any higher than P3, so might as well just cruise. But these tyres of the Porsche will be screaming come the end of this race, so Butler needs to get past 66, get a nice bit of a lead, because 66 will just be consistent. And I think it's going to happen here. He's down to 8 tenths again. So whatever 66 is doing in sector 3 is working right now. Although saying that, that is one rapid Porsche. Is he going to go down the inside into T1? He is. And the move is done. Well done, Butler. 66 didn't even defend. He probably wasn't even aware that a Porsche was even going to be coming down the inside. And Butler, after getting a drive through, is now back in front. And just look at it pull away. I'm going to have to add more ballast. Going to have to add more ballast. Let's take a look at the rest of the leaderboard right now then. So 66, as we have just seen, loses P1, moves down into P2. Skyring, it's just chilling. Chilling P3, pushing, but chilling. Lloyd, in the PlayStation Racing Porsche, is doing incredibly well. Keep it up, my guy. Currently P4 after a dreadful round 1. He needs a good result today. the purple Nurple P&R Ferrari. Looks like it's had a bit of a bang on the front there somewhere. But Lemmy has got that gap down by 2 seconds, so clearly Lemmy is pushing. Half hour to go. It can certainly be done. And it looks like the battle for P6 is also far from over. You can just see Sobek going a little bit shallow into that corner there. He's done that a few times now. You can see a little bit of damage on the rear end. Just the rear bumper slightly hanging off. Let's just see if Porsche can get a good bit of acceleration. Looks a bit better by the Ferrari. I think come the end of this race, Porsche's tyres are going to come into their own. They're both lapping, well, that lap he was 1/10 quicker, literally 1/10 quicker. So we'll see what happens, and as we go and watch the Purple Nurple P&R Ferrari, let me talk you through some more of our events. Coming up tomorrow night is the next round of the P&R Season 4 Touring Car Cup at the Amadrama Fake Circuit. It's a night race. Wednesday night we have our Porsche multi-class, which is GT4, as well as the 911 Sprint class, all depending on your license, hosted on the World Simulator website. And right now you're watching the GT2 World Championship here at P&R Racing YouTube channel. I really need to get a better transition than just some random flicking back and forth rubbish. Ugh, so many things I need to do. So many things, just not enough time. So, we are pretty much halfway into the race. And things are settling down. 66 is definitely keeping up with Butler a lot better this time around. So whether Butler now is in tyre conservation mode, and Lloyd has gained a little bit of time back against Letterme. And we can see, actually, Porsche is looking like they're getting quite racy here in Sector 1 as the BMW runs a little bit wide. Porsche having to go heavy on the brakes. Riding a bit of the curb. It's hard to get the power down when you're inside tyre, rear tyres on the curb. You're just going to spin it out. Oh, and Porsche is looking down the inside, but a little bit opportunistic there, I think. Bit of a front left lock up. So I think Porsche's definitely listened to my advice from round 1 and moved the brake bias back a bit. But the only reason why I locked up then was because they were trying to put steering input whilst heavily braking, which never works. That's where trail braking comes into it, believe it or not. And I think Porsche is just doing their best to make sure they stay in the head of Sobek. And that Ferrari does have some good straight line speed, just not enough. The Sobek actually defends into T1, quite a wise move. There's no real overtaking opportunities going into turn 2 and 3. 4 on the other hand, there is a little bit of an opportunity, but it's really into 6, which is coming up right now. Gap is good. Get on the power nice and early there. Oh, almost clipping the rear end of that BMW as it tries to get back across the circuit. And 66 has just set a personal best of the race at 25.7. So clearly the battle for P1 is not over. Lemmy's now got the gap down to 15 seconds, 14 seconds, give or take. But even though there's only 7 drivers, this just goes to show. Oh, it's, of course, just lights up the rear tyres a little bit too much. That even with a low number count of drivers, you're in for a race regardless of where you are in the field. And that seems to be the case with our events, which I'm very happy about, if I'm honest. So if you want to get involved in our events, feel free to join our Discord. And check out our events on the World Sim Series website. All the links are in the description below. Oh, of course. Right idea, poor execution. Try it again. Oh, and course run really wide there. He's trying a little bit too hard. Just needs to relax just a little bit. Oh, this is looking a lot. Oh, it's well done for Sobek there. Just parked on the apex, meaning Korsch had to let off a little bit. Couldn't quite continue their drive through the corner. It's a sly tactic, but it works. Just got to be careful not to be hit from the car behind as Butler is in the pits. And this will be for tyres, because the Porsche's tyres are not great. I'm assuming Lloyd is on the hard tyre, so that means 66 goes into the race lead. And Lloyd is also in the pits. So there you go. Halfway through, and the Porsches are definitely struggling for tyre grip. As Lloyd falls down into P5, Letterme moves up into P4 as we head back to the battle for P5 now. Oh, and of course just outbrake themselves a little bit. Now can Lloyd gain some positions back? Can they get back into P5? Maybe. Not sure P4's on the cards anymore. It's just got to be careful with the cold tyres. Same for Butler. There's 25-second gap, so let's see what Butler can do. I don't think that's particularly correct either, to be fair, for Butler. We'll probably update in just a minute. Cautious now, very aware that there is a very fast Porsche behind. You can just see Korsch just wanted to brake just a little bit later. Not quite sure how to handle the car in front. Sobek's defensive driving here is incredibly good. But what we're going to do is get on board with this Porsche, because it's going to get past the both of them very easily. Done. Oh my days. That is unreal speed for the Porsche there. And I bet Porsche's just like, what? How did he do that? How on earth did he just come out of the pits and do that? And it's gone. It's absolutely, I can't believe that. It's such a... Oh my lord. That must feel so bad for Sobek and Korsch. Oh, and Korsch has spun it. Oh no. Well, now Korsch has got a free track in front. He could drive how he likes. And here is our race leader with Skyring only 2.9 seconds behind. I think it's going to be a very tall order for Butler to get back with these two. We'll keep an eye on the lap times. This is going to have to be close to 1.5 seconds a lap faster than these two up ahead. But Butler and Lloyd with a lot of work to do. Now, if Lloyd is 1 second a lap quicker than Lettermy, it's very doable. 27.888, 4 seconds faster than Sobek. 1:36. So Sobek and Korsch are feeling the pinch now off the tyres. What about 66, our race leader, and Skyring? I think there's a bit of life still. 26.5. Okay, keep an eye on that. Remember that. 26.4 for Skyring. Now, what about Butler? It needs to be about 1.5 seconds quicker. So it needs to be a very, very, very fast lap. And I don't think it's going to... Well, it will be, but it won't be fast enough. Yeah, 126.5s, 126.4s. So Butler should be crossing over now. 125.5, so it's not fast enough. He's a second quicker, but it won't be enough to catch Skyring in P2 unless these two start dropping off time. Lettermy did a 127 and 14 seconds behind. It's Lloyd with a 126.1, and that's their fastest lap of the race so far. Their PB. So Lloyd could, in theory, catch up with Lettermy, but it's gonna be a hell of a drive. And not like that. Lloyd spins it. And that's the chance for P4 gone. P5, though, is still very much on the cards for Lloyd. She's got to keep it going. Otherwise, the likes of Sobek will be biting. Trying to make their way through. Now let's take a look at our PNR Ultimate Sim Racer champion, which is Jay Skyring. If you don't know what that is, effectively we host a season every other month or so, every 8 to 10 weeks. And there's 8 rounds of 8 different types of cars and racing. And at the end of that, we technically have our Ultimate Sim Racer. So you can find all of the videos of that on our YouTube channel. And there is a dedicated playlist called the Ultimate Sim Racer. And it starts from rookies, so like Mini Cooper Sports / Clios. Makes all the way up to, in the last race in the last season, was hypercars. Monsieur Bo Dixon, evening mate. Good evening, sir. How are you? I hope you're doing well. Track looks like a lot of fun in these cars. It definitely is, but you would want to be driving this little bad boy, the 1998 Porsche GT2. It's an absolute animal, but it's absolutely rapid. I've got a 5% restrictor on it, so it's 5% weaker, and it's still roughly 15 kilometers an hour faster in the straights than the Ferrari and the BMW. It is a very meaty boy. Spent the last few hours installing COD. Oh dear. Oh dear. Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. Oh dear. Fair enough, bud. As long as you didn't purchase the campaign, that's what matters. Because that's the worst looking campaign I have ever seen in a Call of Duty game. A little bit of understeer there for Butler. Remember, this doesn't have the same sort of aero package as the BMW. Now I'm waiting to see if Skyring can pull something out. Turns out you have to install last year's and this year's COD to play, so it was 130 gigabytes install. What? Why do you have to install the last year's game? That's like... that makes no sense whatsoever. So it's clearly a bit like Overwatch 2 then, where it's just a repackage and re-release. No effort, basically. That's insane. I can't believe that. Butler's doing very well, 19 seconds behind Skyring. Because half of the content is last year's game. What the hell? Activision need to get themselves in order, really, don't they? Need to sort themselves out. Purple Nurple Ferrari in P4. Looking a bit lonely for letting me. And some new remastered content. So it's not new, it's remastered. There's nothing new about it. It's just remastered content from over 10 years ago. Flippin' heck. That's such a like... oh my days. Dear me. No wonder like all of the major streamers... Do I need a license for these cars? Yes, you need to be amateur license. But it's very easy to get amateur license on WSS. Very easy. You will do it literally in no time. In the MX-5s. One evening, you'll have it done. If you follow the way of the Anders. And Lloyd is actually at the rear of the grid. I completely missed that. So Lloyd's clearly had a bit of an off somewhere. He said, you know what, for a laugh, I'll have a go in the Porsche after round one. It was an absolute car crash for him. We'll try at some point this week. Sounds good, my guy. Sounds good. I'm hoping we will get some more GT2s added. I have asked, like the Dodge Viper, the Lamborghini Huracan GT2, the KTM Crossbow GT2. Yeah, no worries, Bo. If you're away for your birthday, you crack on, my guy. Life is far more important. Life is far more important. But we will have to prize you away from every other series at some stage in life. Right, Korsch is now back on the rear end of Sobek. And there's a little link by Nightbot if you want to find all of our current and future events in WSS. Hit that link. Get yourself signed up. Tomorrow night is the PNTCC round 2 of the season 4 at the Andromeda Fantasy Circuit. And it's a night race. So it's going to be very fun. It's very well lit. It's very well lit at the Andromeda Virtual Racecourse. as the sun is starting to set here at the Lauritsen Ring. We usually try to get this series to finish at night time, but we won't today, I don't believe. And if you want to stay in the loop for all of our events at Pretty Ninja, make sure you join our Discord. Right, I'm off to regret spending £60 on Modern Warfare 3. Enjoy the rest of the race, mate. Thank you very much, Bo. I hope you don't regret it, but I kind of know that you will, as Course has got a brilliant exit coming down into T6. Prime opportunity to finally get past Sobek. Oh, and he's locked it up under braking. And Sobek makes their way back through. And Lloyd has kind of created his own little corner there. I think the rear end must have stepped out under braking again. But the battle for P5 is 100% a go. Lloyd, after a great stint 1, stint 2 is just not working out for him. Of course, locks up again. He's trying a bit too hard, just needs to relax. The opportunities will come. He needs to be right on the rear end of Sobek coming out onto the final drive. He needs to be within about 3 attempts really to be able to dive down the inside into T1. But of course, with the slightly faster lap there, only 800ths or 8,000ths of a second. And I got a funny feeling it's all to do with the tyres, because look, that BMW has been fantastic in Sector 1 all day. All race and course, just looking down the inside, not quite happening. Can he get the cut back, get down the inside? He's trying it again. It's happening. It's not quite there. Oh, and he gets the move done. And he moves himself up into P5. Can he hold on to it? Sobek is not going to have given up that easily. Butler's got to gap down to 16 seconds. That's a good Sector 2 or second phase race. And of course gets locked up. And it's going to allow Sobek back through. But of course does have the inside line into the next 2 corners. Heavily defends into that right-hander. Needs to get a good drive here. The BMW's been excellent out of here all race. Now, is Sobek going to get down the inside of Porsche into T1? Doesn't look like it this time around. But this is very good racing by the pair. Very close. Sobek is not giving up at all. Great to see. Racing has actually just come over the start-finish line as well. And the Ferrari just has that little bit of an edge off straight line speed. But you can see the BMW's cornering capabilities are far better, making the circuit the perfect recipe, really. Oh, and Korch gets a snap of oversteer. He's got the inside line into the next corner. He's got to make sure he hits that braking zone well. He brakes late. I got a funny feeling Sobek's going to try down the inside, but no, Korch gets it nice and stopped. Good driving by the pair. Oh, a little bit out-braked himself there. Back on the power to get themselves down the start-finish straight one more time. This battle is far from over, really. Can Sobek bring anything to the party? And I think that Porsche is struggling on its tyres a little bit now. You can kind of hear it lighting them up a little bit. Sobek is looking. Oh, it's not really going to happen there. Sobek has to get the job done on the infield. We could just see the race leaders in the background. With 4 minutes left of the race to go. The battle for P5 is hotting up because Lloyd will be in on the action this lap going down the start-finish straight. It's just whether he can get the car stopped. Oh, and cautious run wide again. Sobek's looking to take advantage but not able to. So a couple of times now Cautious made that error. Sobek now knows that. He's logged that. He knows that's going to be the prime area to make the move and get it done. And we're going to watch Lloyd stream absolutely past these two now, I think. Or at least one of them. And is he going? He's hard on the brakes. Not quite getting the job done. And he's going to have to give way to Sobek. So racing side by side, but not quite getting the job done there for Lloyd. Sobek is in a bit of a rock and a hard place because he wants to attack. He needs to keep the pressure on, of course. But is fully aware that there is a much faster Porsche behind as Lloyd, the Porsche just steps out a little bit there. Skyring looks like he's making a late charge on 66, but I don't think it's going to be enough. In fact, I think he's made an error now. It's back up to 3 seconds. And with no pressure, Kors is nailed that left-hander. And interestingly, the race leaders are really not far away now. The blue flags are going to be waving. And I don't think Lloyd is close enough, really. He's too far back to get both of them. He might be able to get Sobek down into T1. There is just no defending against that Porsche. And Lloyd dives it down the inside. What a move. I was not expecting that from Lloyd. That was really opportunistic. And Sobek tries to get in on the action as well. That's Lloyd up to P5. Kors did not see that coming. And Sobek is pushed out wide. Oh, not Sobek, sorry. Kors is pushed out wide. Sobek has got the inside line coming into T6. Oh, and he locks it up. Oh, and he gets the job done round the outside in the end. The switchback was almost on for Kors, but Sobek moves back into P6. Kors moves down to P7. Lloyd has got P5 currently. He just needs to keep that car on track for the next lap. And our race leader is really gaining on this trio now. Brilliant, brilliant racecraft by all three. And we'll see that Porsche run away now, but what can the Ferrari of Kors do against Sobek? He needs to get in that slip. He's a bit too far back to do anything to T1, but can he make the move into T6 again? Oh, and Kors a little bit late on the brakes, but manages to keep the car going. And there is our race leader behind. And I think Kors is going to have to give way at some point soon. And here is our race leader on their final lap of the race. He's just flashing. Yeah, Kors very nicely gets out of the way. That's very kind of them, especially as they're racing. And that'll be it, sadly, for Kors. Although they will have one more lap after this. Oh, no, they won't. No, they won't. Lloyd and Sobek will, but Kors won't because he's been lapped. So That's the race over for Porsche now, sadly. But our race leader, 66, comes round the infield one more time. One last time, rather. Tokyo Drifto round the right-hander. European position round the left-hander. And 66 comes around the final corner to take victory in round 2. And in fact, laps Sobek to take victory in round 2 of the Pretty Ninja GT2 World Championship, with Skyring finishing in P2. Sobek and Korsch have finished off in P6 and 7. Great racing by all of those. Butler has just gone over the timeline to get P3. Got the gap down to 17 seconds, which is very, very good. And the purple nurple Letterme Ferrari, which has hey spelled backwards but deliberately for people in the mirror, comes around the final corner. Such a lonely sound of the purple nurple Ferrari as they come over the timing line. And last but not least, Lloyd, after what was a great phase 1 of the race. Troublesome phase 2, sadly. But it clearly goes to show that that Porsche is not really suitable for our race setup. So hopefully we will get more cars added soon. Otherwise we'll just have to go to BMW and Ferrari. Because if you drive the Porsche, you're just not going to win. Lloyd comes over the line to take P5. Great result there. There we go. So 66 takes P1. Skyring takes P2. Letterme didn't take P3. It was Butler, in fact. Everyone's kind of gone now. So sadly, Butler takes P3. Letterme takes P4. Lloyd takes P5. Sobek gets P6. And Korsch gets P7. Not a bad race at all, I would say, ladies and gentlemen. I would say that that was quite a success tonight. And we're just waiting for the results to be finalised. We just need to wait for everyone to get off the server. But if you do want to get involved in any of our events coming up later this week, all you have to do is click in the link in the description to know below. Tonight you have watched the GT2 World Championship hosted on the World Sim Series website. Next week we are at Imola. Tomorrow night we are heading over to the Andromeda Fantasy Circuit for the PNR Season 4 of the Touring Car Championship. Could be absolutely anyone's. And on Wednesday night, again, we are at the Andromeda Fantasy Circuit for the Porsche Multiclass. Depending on your license, will depend on which car you can drive. We are just waiting for the results to finalise. And we can have a look at the standings. So those that are new to the PNR YouTube channel, thank you ever so much for joining us this evening. Make sure you hit that like and subscribe button. I don't usually say that sort of stuff, but I thought, why not tonight? And if you are a returning customer, shall we call you, a returning spectator, why are you spectating? Why are you not getting involved? The more races, the merrier. It doesn't matter how good or bad you are. We are here to help you get entertained, better or for worse. still waiting for the results to be finalised. The race is now finished. Wonderful stuff. So let's head over to the standings and give it a good old refresh. And head back to the studio. How well can you see that? You cannot see that. Okay, wonderful. I need to make a better standings little window. So 66 is our current driver that's in the lead. How about doing both, spectating and watching the broadcast? If people can multitask, I would prefer that they kept their eyes on the road. But 66 is leading away with a maximum 50 points from 2 rounds with 2 wins and 2 race starts. Skyring is in P2 with 36. Letterme is in P3 with 28 points. Course is in P4 with 25. Brilliant race from Course today. Great spectacle. Lloyd moves into P5 with 22 points. Sobek with 18 points. And we have Butler coming in with 16 points off 1 race victory and a podium. Or 1, not race victory, racing around. I will be able to speak soon. Like, properly be able to talk and describe things properly. And Coulson missed this week because he went to go and see some elephants. Not even making that up. He did. He actually saw some elephants. And if you want proof that he saw elephants, you need to check out our Discord by typing !Discord and check a look at the Post Your Pick channel because you'll see some elephants. But tomorrow night we are back with the PNTCC Season 4 Round 2 at the Andromeda Fantasy Circuit. It's looking like it's going to be an incredibly close one, based off the free practice times. If you want to get involved, make sure you check the link in the description below of this video. And until next time, ladies and gentlemen, look after yourselves. And I hope to see you on track soon. Toodaloo.